Long before anyone laid a railroad track or paved a highway, the interior of the North American continent already had a highly efficient transit network. The branching veins of the Mississippi and Missouri river systems functioned as a geographic circulatory system. Over 1,000 years ago, the Mississippian culture recognized this geographic advantage. They utilized these rivers to establish a vast indigenous trading network that stretched from the Great Lakes all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. The political and economic center of this ancient river trade was Cahokia, located near present-day St. Louis. At its peak, this civilization built massive earthwork mounds by hand, supporting a regional hub that included thousands of individual residences. The physical geography of the continent dictated the value of this specific region centuries before European contact. Whoever controls the junction of these two great rivers inherently controls the flow of trade through the continent's interior. By the 17th and 18th centuries, French and Spanish colonizers mapped and utilized these exact same waterways for their own trade. In 1764, under Spanish dominion, French settlers established St. Louis on the high bluffs overlooking the Mississippi as a strategic fur trading post. But these colonizers immediately hit a physical bottleneck. Floating timber and furs downriver to New Orleans was relatively simple. Returning upriver against the fierce Mississippi current was a logistical nightmare. To move cargo north, crews pushed a heavily loaded bateau, a large flat-bottomed wooden riverboat, against the flow of the water using poles and ropes. A single return trip took 3 to 4 months of manual labor. This created a hard ceiling for early St. Louis. The city had the perfect geography, but without a way to overcome the river's current, its commerce was restricted to the slow pace of a hand-pulled boat. The political landscape shifted in 1803. The Louisiana Purchase suddenly brought early Missouri under the jurisdiction of the United States. Attracted by high-quality land and easy river access, American pioneers flooded into the territory. This demographic shift rapidly overwhelmed the original French and Spanish populations. This population explosion led to a demand for statehood, which triggered a fierce political debate in Washington over whether the institution of slavery would be permitted to expand into these new Western territories. The tension was temporarily resolved by the Missouri Compromise of 1820. The following year, Missouri officially became the 24th state in the Union. Statehood cemented Missouri's political and demographic integration into the U.S. The geographic foundation was set, the population was in place, and the economy primed for growth. But the real turning point arrived in 1817, when the very first steamboat pushed against the current and officially docked in St. Louis. This chart shows the immediate impact of steam power. The grueling 120-day journey upriver from New Orleans was instantly cut to 20 days. As engineering improved, travel times plummeted. By 1838, the exact same trip took 6 days or less. St. Louis sat precisely at the intersecting node for the Ohio, Illinois, Cumberland, Tennessee, Missouri, and Mississippi rivers. With steamboats navigating all of them, the city became the central hub for national trade. By 1834, 230 separate steamboats were operating simultaneously on the Mississippi, carrying a combined 39,000 tons of cargo. By conquering the river currents, steam power replaced the slow trading post with a high-speed shipping hub. The demographic impact of this shipping capacity was massive. By the year 1860, the population of the Mississippi River region served by St. Louis grew to nearly 4 million people. The steamboat boom diversified the city's business leadership, drawing in entrepreneurs from the East Coast who brought capital to build out the commercial networks. At the same time, the working class expanded rapidly. A large influx of German immigrants arrived to work the docks and construct new urban infrastructure. The immense river traffic shifted the class structure, demographics, and industrial capacity of the entire region. St. Louis's massive river shipping capacity directly solved the logistical problem of westward expansion. During the 1848 California Gold Rush, St. Louis and Independence utilized massive stockpiles to become primary outfitting centers for westbound wagon trains. Providing the heavy supplies, food, and mules necessary for a 6-month overland trek officially earned Missouri its permanent historical moniker, the Gateway to the West. While railroads eventually tied the coast together, it was the initial combination of Missouri's river geography and steam technology that first overcame the physical barriers of the wilderness and opened the western half of the continent to large-scale settlement.